Hi, and take two. This is the second video attempt of reading a few books and sharing a few books with some friends. Um, First, let me say I hope you all are well and safe and taking care of one another, creating schedules and routines and stretching, reading, cooking, going outside, getting some of that sunshine can really help you feel better. I know it's helped me a lot. So to start off, I'd like to share just a few books with you that I love to read. And I usually love to read them with the kids. So this is kind of weird looking at my computer. First book is called The Great Paper Caper. The Great Paper Caper. It's by Oliver Jeffers. When you see one person's name down there, that usually means that they also illustrated. I read this morning for the first time, and I enjoyed it a lot. So maybe I'll read this one in the future. Good book. The Monster Who Lost His Mane by Tiffany Strelitz Haber and illustrated by Christy Edmonds down at the bottom here. All right. Also, I wanted to let you know I'm going to be asking a few questions as we go through this whole thing. I'm asking a question at the end, too, that if you know the answer to, I will send you a handful of seeds to plant in your spring garden. This next one is called Tops and Bottoms. Tops and Bottoms. Adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens. This one's pretty special to me. I used to read this at least once or twice a week in Texas to fifth graders in the garden. And when I open this up, you can see this little, right here it says garden copy, Houston Independent School District. So this book has been around for probably close to 20 years, probably, at least that I know of. It was in the garden um, library when I got there to the Outdoor Education Center in Houston, Texas. And I was there for 15 years and it got there before then. So it's been around quite a while. Excuse me. Also, another gardening book. This one you may remember at some point in your earlier years, maybe in your later years. It's called Have You Filled a Bucket Today? It's a guide to daily happiness for kids. I like to do a little slash and adults too. If you remember to take care of each other, make each other feel well, and help yourself feel well. And this book is illustrated by David Messing, and it's written by Carol McLeod. So they collaborated together to bring this beautiful piece of information together. Yeah, that's another great book. I used to read this one a lot in Texas as well. It's called The Other Way to Listen by one of my favorite authors and illustrators. Author is Bert Baylor, and illustrator is Peter Parnell. Beautiful, interesting illustrations in this book. One of my favorite ones. What's the last book you read? Did you read it to a friend? Did you read it to yourself? Did you read it to yourself and then to a friend? I read this one this morning. I used to read this one a lot in Texas as well. It's called The Wump World. And it's written and illustrated by Bill Peet. This is a very, very good book. I hope to maybe read this one at some point. It's a little wordy. There's a lot of words in it. There's, let's see if I can find some interesting illustrations too. Question, what do you think is happening in these illustrations? I don't like the light that's going out. Sorry, friends. What's going on in there? Last one before I read to you is another book I read a lot in Texas. This is also the garden copy. It is Mrs. Spitzer's Garden. Illustrated by Edith Patow and written, by Edith Patow and illustrated by Tricia Tusa. Very good book. Let's see, this is the front cover. This is called the title page. Why do you think this is called the title page? Let's see if I can get this lighting a little bit better here. Sorry, friends. See if that's a little bit better. All right, so the book I'd like to share with you or read with you today is called The Surprise Garden. It's written by Zoe Hall and Sherry Halpern. Take a look at that cover. What are some notices you have? I noticed this beautiful butterfly up here. Mariposa. Mariposa is butterfly in Spanish. I see what's happening. I have some sun coming in through my window. I love the sun. Hope you can see me. What's this page called? Front cover? Back cover? What's this first page called? What's that called? I have some notices. I see a water can. I see a little bunny rabbit. I see a bird waiting for some seeds to be planted so I can swoop down and eat some. The other birds up here. We're planting the seeds for a surprise garden. Can you guess what we will grow? What is that? What is that punctuation at the end of that sentence called? What is that? I want you to notice also many different shapes of seeds. Many different shapes. We don't know. It's a surprise. First, we use our trowel and rake to loosen the soil. When you rake the soil or loosen the soil, you may hear the words till the soil. When you till the soil, you're loosening the soil, you're adding oxygen, you're creating space for those roots to grow. Like they're playing in the mud. Mom has given us each a handful of all kinds of seeds. Look at all the different shapes and sizes. Remember, you answer some questions, let your teachers know. Let me know. I will send you a bag of random seeds. Could be sunflower seeds, could be vegetable seeds, could be both. Who knows? We poke the seeds into the soil, one by one. We have painted sticks, different colors, to mark the different kinds of seeds, which is a very smart thing to do. Mr. Perigo used to plant things in his garden in Texas and not know what was going to grow there until I made some better choices. It's a surprise, though. It's kind of fun. Then we water the seeds and we wait for our surprise garden to grow. Everything needs water. If you think of a habitat where things live, you need four things actually. You need food, water, shelter, and space to live. Food, water, shelter, and space. Four things. Seeds need water too, to germinate, to start to grow. Soon the seeds sprout into small garden shoots. And my friends, I'll tell you what, when you start to see your little seedlings sprouting like this, you will be so excited. It's so exciting to see little green shoots. Now, you don't want many rabbits around your green shoots, though, because those rabbits will gobble them up. Or cornejos, in Spanish. Rabbit is cornejo. We water the plants, and the sun warms them. Our garden grows and grows. On some plants, flowers bloom. What do you think will happen? Before long, the petals fall off. Surprise! We see peas, beans, and squash. Oh, exciting. What a squash. This is a yellow squash. There's a crookneck squash and a green squash, a zucchini squash. These look like sugar snap peas over here. These look like string beans, green beans. See the difference? Long. These are not as long and they're a little wider in the middle. On some plants, leaves grow close to the ground. Surprise! We see spinach and lettuce. I bet you that rabbit is loving that lettuce. And what is growing here? What's that punctuation right there? What is that? And what is growing here? Surprise! We see broccoli and cauliflower. Broccoli and cauliflower. What else do you see? Is anything growing here? Surprise! We find carrots and radishes. They are growing under the ground. Under the ground? In the soil. Mr. Perigo used to grow a lot of these, a lot of carrots and a lot of radishes. Radishes are a very tiny seed, but they grow very, very fast. Radishes grow very fast. You may have some radish seeds in your bag of seeds when I send them to you. Here's the longest plant in our garden. Flowers bloomed on this plant too. Surprise! We find a big watermelon. She looks so happy to find her watermelon. I have a half a watermelon in the refrigerator right now. I'm going to eat shortly. Here is the tallest plant in our garden. Surprise! It's a sunflower and it's full of tasty seeds. I've done this a few times with friends, harvesting or taking those seeds from the sunflower. There's a whole process to it. You need to dry them and bake them, and then you can eat them. All summer long, the food in our surprise garden ripens. We like to pick the food. And believe me, when you grow your own food, you will love to pick your own food. It feels so wonderful to go out to your garden and pick food and chomp on it and eat it. I know a few students have come out to the DCS garden with me and enjoyed some herbs. There were a few tomatoes earlier in the year. We've eaten a lot of herbs and some lettuce and some kale, some Swiss chard. It feels so good to eat the vegetables that you grow yourself. Check it out. The beautiful garden. And this looks like a lot of space, a big space, but you don't really need a lot of space. You can grow in a little container. You can grow in 5 containers. Some of you are growing in your classrooms. You can grow almost anywhere that there's sunlight. So remember, friends, that the plant's food is sun. So if you do stick a seed in the soil, you want to make sure that it has some sun. Sun and what else? What's another thing you can do? I hate when I do that. So ... means that the sentence continues on the next page. We like to pick the food, my favorite part, and eat it too. Surprise, we're having a garden party. Garden parties are fun. I hope that we can come together soon and have a garden party at DCS. Surely will. There's going to be some plants there. As soon as I can leave my home, I am going to go up there and till the soil. I'm going to plant some seeds. So when we get back, we can have a nice DCS garden. Last page I want to share with you with this book is what we grew in our surprise garden. Some of you really pay attention closely. I know that about some of you. So I want you to know, here's the guide. We had peas, we had beans, we had spinach, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, radish, squash, watermelon, and sunflower. So if you were paying close attention, you saw all of those being planted. Also, the different stakes that they used in the ground to record what was planted there, what seed that they put in the ground, and a different sized seed scale right here. You can see there are different size seeds for each plant, not all the same. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So thinking about a question at the end of the story, I guess it would be, what is your favorite vegetable? You can share that with your teachers. Miss Deacon and Miss DeChoulet, they nominated me to read to you, and I plan on, if this goes through and I get an idea how to do this, I'd like to do it again. But let them know that you watched the video and you answered a few of the questions with them, and I will love to send you a handful of random seeds, okay? That makes my hair look different, doesn't it? Please, friends, wash your hands. Get some vitamin D. Love each other. Help each other out. Treat each other with respect. The same thing that you learn with Habits of Scholarship, okay? Practice those. Let us know if we can help with anything. I love you so much. Be safe. Stay inside. Get some sun. Read a book. Read to a friend. Read to yourself. Stay active. Create a schedule. A schedule has really helped me. If I know what's expected, what my responsibilities are for each day, I create a schedule for myself. It helps me stay feeling well. All right. So please be well. See you soon. Love you all. Be safe. Still on here. Uh-oh. Hope you guys can stop it towards the end there or whenever you need to. The ending. It didn't stick the landing. I don't know where my cursor is. There it is.